Welcome to join us with your comments via our social media handles on X Spaces, on YouTube, and of course on Facebook. We are starting off with a matter that has potential risk for lives and property. Now, communities in Western and Ashanti regions, some communities are sitting on a ticking time bomb. Why? Because illegal mining activities are creeping dangerously close to the critical gas pipeline. Gensa Energy has identified at least 15 high-risk areas where galamsey operations are cutting communication cables and threatening the veracity of pipelines. Ghana already struggles to meet a daily peak gas demand. This will be compounded to cripple national energy supply and lead to power shortages. The Vice President of Operations at Gensa Energy, Henry Abekuapon, says the situation was uncovered by a monitoring team in the galamsey-prone areas that harbor national gas pipelines.
We've identified several prone areas. We have more than 50 communities we've identified as, galamsey-prone areas where the activities normally interrupt or cut our communication cables. And we've actually identified all of these communities where we've intensified surveillance monitoring systems. Western region, I wouldn't be able to, fully reveal, but there are a lot of areas in the Western region. Galamseys are very active in the Western region. Our pipeline, Western region to Ashanti region, these areas are areas we are battling and working assiduously to ensure the communities are well sensitized to understand that some of these operations are very harmful to the operations of the pipeline and can become real threat to the community. So we work with the communities effectively to ensure that they accept that their operations these levels of operations could harm and become a threat to the safety of the communities.
Right, so this is a matter that has serious consequences for the nation if things are not done immediately to address this. Ken Osigbe is with the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining and also Chief Executive of the Chamber of Mines. Doctor, now they are moving from, cocoa farms and now having the audacity to get close to our gas pipelines. Clearly something must be done. What do you recommend immediately?
It's not only the fact that we are endangering ourselves with this gas pipeline. There are also very extra high voltage pylons that are also being digged under. And if any of those pylons should go down, the cost to life and property, and this is something VRA, Gridco have been preaching about. And now the situation is now being made worse with this issue of gas. And we know how flammable gas is going to be.
Right.
And all of these people who are doing all of this are criminals. These are environmental criminals, and so they should be treated as such, that these are people who are endangering their very lives and endangering the whole country. So the talk is enough of the talk. These are national security assets, and they should be treated as national security assets. And we should not allow criminals who, for their own selfish, reasons would want to endanger all of us. So these are some of the things that we'll be hoping that His Excellency the President, in the coming days, as we await his new methods of fighting this particular scourge, would add that so that our gas pipelines, our high voltage lines, our roads, our water, our forest reserves, all of them will be treated with that robustness that is required.
But it's taking this long for the engineers to come to this, highlight. Bringing it to the media attention. Clearly, because you mentioned the fact that these are security installations, I don't think we should even get to the point where the engineers are now raising this concern before the nation to take action. No,
at all. These are things that, if you look at the protocols around gas pipelines, they are such that you don't allow any of these, operations around them. I remember even when we have to lay fiber and you have to go into a place where there's a gas pipeline around the Tema area, the protocols you have to go through. So it's the same things that should be happening in there. We just have not been treating the issues around illegal mining, with the seriousness that it deserves. So you then have these criminals also then having the audacity, wanting to go close to this. And as I was telling you, I know that, the Ghana gas people would have been dealing with it in the past, as Gridco have also been dealing with the issues around their pylons in the past. But, in all of this thing that I've said, these are security concerns. And the question you'll be asking yourself is that where are the district and municipal security committees? And that's why, for me, the issues around what the DCs and MCs and the police commanders in these communities would have to come and play.
But again, these guys that you describe as criminals appears to have no regard to the environment and where they want to mine. It will not even matter if they discover gold at the Jubilee House and there is no restriction. They'll go ahead and undertake their illegal activity. Yet, we appear to be talking tough but acting very little on the ground. I don't know what else must be done for us to take this war to them.
No, you see, the challenge is the fact that the people who have to act sometimes are compromised themselves. So you find out it's all the issues about the elephant in the room. It's the politically exposed persons, the very well connected people who are, the people behind the root cause of all of this. It's not the people you see in there. It is the people that know that when issues happen and they are arrested, there are big men who come to get them bail. And so they think that they are untouchable. So if we want to deal with this, we need to deal with the root causes. In 2024 October, His Excellency mentioned them as the kingpins. So these are the people we should be going after. And there's a plethora of them. The AG is supposed to be investigating 2 of the ruling government's officials. We've not heard anything that the Iyoko, AG had authorized Iyoko to do that. We've not heard anything about what Iyoko is doing. Akunta Mine, also another politically exposed person on the other side. We've not heard anything. You have the situation about Professor Frimpong Boateng's the
report.
People he named. Yes, the report. They are all politically exposed people. You're not hearing. A company like Heritage Imperial was engaged in the clear illegality, but they are all very connected people, very rich people, so nothing is being done to them. If we don't deal with the root causes of this, we will not be able to resolve it. So I am hoping that, in the coming days, whatever we're going to hear from the government would really result in dealing with the root cause. These people who are responsible for this, and also holding the DCs and MCs accountable so that they should do their work. Today I was having a conversation with one of the DCs, and I am hoping that he will hear this and do the thing that he has to do in his constituency.
But the foreign minister gave us a hint of what government's plans are in terms of going forward, but did not give us the details. What exactly are you hoping to hear from the president this time?
So for me, a lot of the things that I want to hear is the things that the president himself had committed to, the pact he signed with the coalition and UTAC, and then some of the things they said. So we definitely would want to see states of emergency in some, the areas that are endemic with this environmental criminals. He's asked that we hold the DCs and MCs accountable. So I'm hoping that the president will say that for every DC or MC, if there's galamsey happening in your constituency, in your district or municipality, then you have failed me. He dismisses you and then he causes an investigation to find out whether you are complicit, and he holds you accountable. We're also hoping that the president would immediately ask that all these politically exposed persons, including those that his attorney general has asked to be investigated, quickly to be arrested and investigation goes on, and those who have to be prosecuted are prosecuted. We'll also be hoping that situations like that obnoxious policy that the Minister of Interior has brought, where when foreigners are caught up in this illegality, they are deported, that would be changed and we would apply fully the Act 955.
Right.
And Also, I believe that the work that the Minister of Lands has started with the excavators, what at the port, we need to speed them up. There are over 7,000 excavators in the field. All of those we should, under the state of emergency, they should be given maybe a week or a month to register the excavators, or they all be confiscated to the state, and we start exporting these excavators out of the country. And so there has to be a paradigm shift. We have had too many talks. And also another thing we should start doing is empowering the local communities. There is a local community where the folks were fighting the Galamseyers. They are still in court, and we are going to be petitioning in the coming days, the Attorney General, to drop those charges against them and empower these local communities. There are a lot of them. Now they are all fighting back and saying, no, we want our cocoa farms. We don't want you to come and do illegal mining in our community. We need to empower all of these. There is a king, there's the chief of Aboso, who has also started, pushing back on the Galamseyers. We need to get all of these traditional authorities and support them so that they will also be part of the fight rather from the ground, because that's how Galamsey will be dealt with. It is getting the local folks. But another thing that we all need to do, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources has invited all of us to join the fight. So I will be calling on the Catholic Bishops Conference, for example, and the Christian Council, the Chief Imam, all traditional leaders. We need to mobilize ourselves and show to these environmental criminals who claim they are in the millions that there's a lot more of us who do not want these things happening. The peasant farmers alone, you have over 2.5 million of them who are losing their livelihoods because of this. Those are our fisher folks who are on the rivers. They have lost their livelihoods. Even those who fish in the shallow waters are also beginning to lose their livelihoods. And we need to start hearing also from the GMA, the Ghana Medical Association, and all of that, who are treating, the cases that are coming to them, the Ghana nurses and midwives, all of these people. We need to start hearing all of us coming back in and then, supporting the government where they are doing right. And areas where it's not happening too well, we point that out to the government.
All right. Perhaps the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry have some answers for us. Let me cross over to Akwatia Shandoff. He speaks for the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry, and he joins us on the line. So, Akwatia, has this come to your attention that illegal miners are now getting closer to our gas pipelines, and what steps is being taken by the ministry to get them off and protect these pipelines?
Good afternoon, Elton. Indeed, we have taken notice of this particular development and all other threatening matters that are emerging. The truth of the matter is that right upon the detection, NIMOS was notified, the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, and as of now, they are drawing a comprehensive plan to deal with this particular issue, and indeed any other matter that may come out of this particular development. So by way of a response, indeed, we have taken notice and we are working around the clock to mitigate the impact.
But you recognize that their operations and the impact it will have on the nation, if they are able to get closer to the pipeline and compromise it, will be such that it will be difficult for us to come out of it. So clearly, these people are bent on wreaking havoc to the nation. Isn't time the ministry or perhaps government take a bold step and say that these people are criminals, so let's deal with them to that extent? Exactly.
We understand the gravity and the enormity of their operations and the groundswell impact it would have on the entire populace. And that is why, like I've had cause to indicate on this same platform, right now, we are enhancing the measures to deal with the menace of illegal mining. Just by way of notification, today, for example, on Monday, there was an operation by NIMOS that arrested 4 military men who, over the period, have been parading and acting under the guise of national security.
Four 7 military officers.
Yes, 7 military officers in yesterday's operation by NIMOS were arrested. And like I'm saying, they have been operating pretentiously under the guise of the national security. Meanwhile, what they do is to embark on illegal raids. Now, if you look at the nature of the operation, it didn't even start yesterday, though they were apprehended yesterday. it had been happening. I mean, the monitoring had been going on over a 3-month period. All of that is just to say that if now security operatives who are complicit are being arrested, we should get the assurance that government is indeed committed to the fight. And for every matter like this nature that emerges, there is a plan to mitigate it accordingly. So it's just a matter of time. Like I've said, we are revising the measures, and very soon this particular menace should be a thing of the past.
So these military officers were acting without authority?
So investigations are ongoing. Indeed, they have all been handed over to the Ghana Armed Forces, and investigations have begun immediately as I speak. Pending the outcome of the investigation, I mean, after the investigations have concluded, we'll be able to know the source of their authorization and where they were coming from. Because in the opinion of the locals, they felt these were authorized military personnel who were conducting the raids. But we will later discover that their entire operationalization was rather parochial, in that they were doing it for their own gains. And indeed, it is not only them. It appears there is also a clique of security personnel who hide under the guise of the national security to embark on some of these clandestine acts. All of these have come to the attention of the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat. The sector minister has taken notice of it, and the action is being rolled out accordingly.
So what is the new way going forward, Shando? We've been told by the Foreign Affairs Minister that the President is taking a serious matter, a serious view of this because of the calamity that befell the nation last week. Are you able to tell us what new in this fight is?
By way of newness, before I touched on the unique craft of interventions that we are rolling out, let's look at what we have been doing already briefly. We have been embarking on land reclamation. We've also been deepening education and sensitization. Indeed, there is a program to also offer alternative livelihood. We are enforcing the laws, and then we are embarking on, we've been embarking on a reformation of the licensing regime. These are the 5-pronged approach that the ministry has adopted over time. Following the incident and given the general call, sentiments that government also shares for the fights to be intensified, what we are doing is that now we are taking all of these measures a notch higher. So, for example, much recently, there was a conversation, a meeting, a cabinet meeting that discussed every other conversation on the table. For instance, we have heard that we have had suggestions from the likes of Dr. Ken Ashigbe that the state of emergency should be declared across targeted locations. There have also been calls for the outright repeal of LI 2462 and a host of them. Every laudable suggestion that has come to the table is being actively considered as of now. So maybe in the not too distant future, perhaps by the end of the week, we'll announce comprehensively the new raft of interventions that we are rolling on board. And I have to say that these new measures would be measures that would indeed please all Ghanaians and give us the results that we are looking for.
Doctor, before I let you go, you've heard the spokesperson for the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry, and the measures that they will be rolling up in the coming days. But last week, for example, the coalition also came together in a statement demanding that a state of emergency is declared in the Galamsey-prone regions. UTAC, for example, have made it clear that they may not go back to the classroom and teach if these measures are not given the needed attention. Does the ministry's posture give you hope that at least we will see some semblance of government action on the ground, now that we are seeing the military officers undertaking their own intervention in this matter?
Yeah, we're having. There are some things in the office, that are going to happen. And so, but you see, the thing that we all need to realize is that sovereignty resides with the people.
Right.
So we as the people need to put the necessary pressure, to ensure that the right things are done. So I am hopeful, and I'm hopeful that in the coming days we will hear something. But let me say something that Shandov talked about. It is important that every force currently that is engaged in this illegal mining, swoops, whatever it is, should work under NIMOS. We should not have people working independently. I'm not surprised of these 4 people that have been picked up, military people that have been picked up. It is the reason why everybody, in as much as we commend the IGP and his team who went to do that raid the last time, That was I'm sure that was a solo move. We should stop all the solo moves. And so my call to His Excellency is that now that he set up NIMOS, he should make sure that the various ministries all work together under NIMOS, so that every operation that is done, it is coordinated from the center, and it can be done. That's an important thing. What I want to tell Shandov also is that there are some of the things that are outstanding. The only thing is that some of those are not issues that under his ministry. What are they? What is the Yoko doing about the investigations that the Attorney General asked them to do? These are some of the things that would give us renewed confidence. Yes, it's good that some military people are being arrested, but go and check. They might not be officers. They will be other ranks. What we need to do is to deal with the root cause, and the root cause are the influential people who are behind all of this. Spontaneous abortions and all of that are currently on the head of everybody who's involved and hands of everybody who's involved in it, including those who have to act and are not now acting. So, Mr. President, we make sure that they are put to book, and so that we can return to responsible small-scale and medium-scale mining that would inure to the benefit of Ghanaians coexist.
Investigation that the Attorney General asked the office to go into regarding some individuals alleged to be involved in illegal mining. Some of them include the NDC national organizer, Joseph Yamin.
Should signal that there is that needed political will to deal with illegal mining, irrespective of whose ox is God. By way of an update on the
Power Up, iPhones, bicycles, and PS5s are up for grabs.
Particular respect, hopefully by next and medium scale mining. Indeed, there is a program that has been launched, and that program would also take shape in the coming weeks. That is the Responsible Cooperative Mining and Skills Development Program. That particular program aims at developments that are emerging across board, and the ministry is up to task and working to make the minister a thing of the past.
But the minister, your boss.
Young man, he's been around for a long time. He understands the fine dynamics and rubrics of politics and public service. And so though outwardly the issues are multifaceted and naturally he'll be overwhelmed, he's robust once again.
Right, Pagasi, thank you so much. And hopefully this matter will not go away anytime soon. So we'll be dealing with you, hearing that they are getting closer to our pipelines, from Atuabo, and 15 communities that the gas pipeline routes difficult for the country to recover from. I don't know if So you didn't sit on this matter. You went to the hospital.
Yes, I did.
What did you see?
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. I think it happened over the weekend. So Monday, very early in the morning, I picked the signals.
Right.
And then I sent a first team to go and assess the situation. And then the feedback, based on the feedback I had, I thought I had to follow up myself, because some of the health professionals were down-spirited, they were demoralized, and they felt insecure. And so I had to go there and then assess the situation myself. So when I got there, I had the opportunity to visit the victims, both the accident victims and the health professional who was brutalized. So after the visit, I convened an emergency management meeting, trying to analyze the situation and putting in some immediate measures in order to calm the tensions at the facility. One of the things that came to fore was how we can quickly beef up the security at the hospital.
Right.
So once we were looking at beefing up the local or the internal security, we also got in touch with the Ghana police to be able to help us once and then. And quite apart from that, and one of the main reasons why I can tell you I'm personally involved in communicating this matter, under normal circumstances, maybe the communication aspect of the ministry would have taken
to handle it.
But I feel so committed and so passionate about this, because I do not want us to set any bad precedents as a country, where you go to a health facility and in your own wisdom you think that something is going on wrong, and you take the law into your own hands and decide to physically attack health professionals. That shouldn't be tolerated.
Of course.
That cannot be countenanced. And I condemn it in no uncertain terms. And I'm very, 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 I take strong exception to this particular matter. So there are two legs to this matter. After yesterday, after the visit, we have already commissioned an investigation into the matter. A 5-member committee has been constituted, a lawyer, an auditor, HR person, a medical doctor, and a nurse. 5-member committee has been constituted to look into the matter so that we can implement the recommendations. That is the health or the ministry's angle. And then there's the criminal aspect, that the police is also looking into the matter so that the law will take its own course. So these are the 2 angles.
The video we saw, the viral video, I mean, the gentleman who recorded the video pointed to lack of urgency on the part of the nurses to attend to the man who required emergency care. And what is your reaction to that?
That is exactly what we are investigating. So I've listened to both sides. Yesterday, at the time I was visiting the hospital, I had not had the opportunity to listen to Ralph's and co, their side. So after visiting the facility, I had the opportunity to also listen to their side. And now we have commissioned a committee to look fully into the matter. So that will unravel all these things. Whether or not indeed there was a delay on the part of the health workers to attend to the accident victim, the investigation will unravel all these matters and then we'll deal with it appropriately.
But these stories are becoming one too many. We've heard so many of health professionals attack line of duty across the country because the public, some of them feel that they don't respond to, the health needs of people on time. And so they take the laws into their own hands.
I think that any of these matters that comes to my attention will be given all the seriousness it deserves. And anybody who will take the law into his own hand, I think that the laws of the country must deal with the person. You see, there are 2 sides of the matter.
Right.
What caused the provocation, okay, and the consequences of the provocation. But my point is that irrespective of the level of the provocation, you do not have the right to physically attack any health worker.
Right.
That is a no-no. That must be eliminated from the equation. At best, you have the right to complain, to file a complaint for us to look into the matter. Okay? This also doesn't mean that health workers must also be emboldened to do whatever they like or not to be professional.
Right.
You understand? And so we are looking into the matter. And then at the end of the day, whatever comes out will be guided by...
But since you assume office as health minister, I mean, how will you describe the general responsiveness of our health professionals to their core mandate?
Well, a lot of them are doing very well, but there are a few of them in the system who, one way or the other, I think there are a lot of rooms for improvement.
In specific terms, like in which areas? For example, a month ago, the registrar of the Medical and Dental Council had issues to raise about even sometimes the conduct of doctors on duty, some taking substances that compromises their alertness and few.
Some of all these issues have come to our attention in the ministry. Okay, it's a human society, and for now, I think that we must not divert their attention. I want us to discuss the issue at hand at the moment, and with time, you know my position on, I mean, when it comes to health professionals not handling patients well.
Right.
I mean, everybody in this country, anybody who is following me know my position on that. And it's something that I'm dealing with, I mean, passionately. But let's just not justify this crime, okay, by any other reason.
Right.
It doesn't justify it. So that is why I do not even want to compare it in the first place. You know, so it doesn't mean I condone, I mean, non-professionalism when it comes to, I mean, health professionals. But I do not think that anybody must be emboldened just because he thinks that health professionals are not being professional or they are delaying to attend to a victim here or there. No, I don't think so.
But if somebody should come into such a situation, what should be the normal course of action?
Yes, and so one of the issues we are discussing in the sector is to have a client service desk in every health facility. And so that if a client or a patient feels strongly about anything, the person can complain. If you go to some health facilities, there are suggestion boxes all over. If you know how to write, you can write and then drop it. We have also advised them to be posting telephone numbers at very strategic places so that people can pick the numbers and call to complain. So there are other things we are coming up with in order to encourage people to complain as and when they are not satisfied with the service. This is a service delivery, okay? And it is important we ourselves as a ministry, as Ghana Health Service, as a health delivery service, we monitor how the patients or our clients accept our services. So we are working on that.
So is it already in place?
Yeah, it's already in place.
And I'm guessing by now we've even started receiving feedback.
Yes, we are putting some of these in place and we are getting feedbacks, and some of them we are addressing them. Gradually, we are rolling it out in the whole country.
The minority, your colleagues on the other side, they've just issued a statement on this matter. And they say that the Health Caucus of Parliament has taken note with grave concern that reprehensible events which unfolded at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital on Monday, 18th August 2025, a video circulating widely on social media depicts one Mr. Ralph St. William storming the premises of the hospital in the company of the group of men. He was observed shouting aggressively, filming health professionals, patients, and visitors without their consent and causing undue disruption to the sanctity of the medical environment. I saw you in a picture with this same person.
Yeah.
What exactly is his problem?
Okay, so when I visited the place after the closed door meeting and I was walking into my car, then he pulled up in a black saloon car. So he got out of the car and came towards me, myself, and then the medical superintendent at Ridge Hospital. So he stretched up to greet us and we exchanged pleasantries, and then at that particular moment we didn't talk further. And so later we had to invite him to listen to his side of the story and all that. So that's exactly what happened.
They are demanding that the police arrest this man.
It's fair.
And investigate.
It's fair. And I made that call after my visit to the media. It's fair. We have insisted that the law must take its own course. So if there's an assault, it's a crime.
All right.
Unless you tell me otherwise.
Okay. You've got a question or a comment for the health minister. He's my guest on the program. You can send that question on X or Facebook or on YouTube, and I'll share with him. Now, how is the sector doing? I mean, 8 months on, how would you describe the health sector?
It's a very critical sector.
And in fact, I don't envy you at all.
It's very, very challenging, but I enjoy it. Yes. I've never taken anything easy in my life, my entire life. So I enjoy challenges, and once I'm challenged, I believe the best out of me is felt.
And the relationship between you and the various sectors, nurses, doctors, other health professionals within the sector.
It's been fantastic.
The nurses and midwives, they had concerns at the start of the year, and you were integral in resolving this particular matter. You prevented what would have been a full-blown strike. What is the progress of work in terms of addressing the many demands that is contained in the conditions of service agreed last year?
Oh, we sat around the table. At the end of the day, we sat around the table. And that's what should be underlined. What it means is that no matter what, we'll sit around the table to resolve the matter. There's no way we'll use cutlass. In our local language, in our proverb, they say, "Assembly anywhere, this can become." So at the end of the day, we'll sit around the table and dialogue. And so we came to a compromise, and government was able to, state its position, and I think that's where we are. We accepted to put in the media review budget issues about their uniform,
right,
and then
the full
book allowances and all that. So I think that matter will draw the closure. We'll look at the rest in the 2026 budget.
2026 budget. So there is an agreement.
We will continue to engage them. We'll continue to engage them on the rest until we are all at par, or we are on the same page.
So for now, the clothing and boot allowance, that one accepted and paid?
It's been accepted, but it goes through a process. Yes.
Right. And then also over the weekend, we heard the same nurses and midwives making the point that, I think you've done enough in terms of dealing with the backlog of graduates waiting to be enlisted in the system. Now, they say that 2021, 2022, 2023, they are still at home and then wasting away, and it is affecting livelihoods and their skills. What is the plan to absorb them?
Well, so it is true we have a very huge backlog when it comes to health professionals who have been trained. Without attempting to scare you we have not less than 70,000 health professionals at home.
Sitting at home, 70,000.
70,000. Doctors, allied health scientists.
Including doctors?
Yes. I mean, allied health scientists, and then nurses and all that. So we have a challenge. We are deducing two main approaches. One, we're looking at how Ghana government will continue to employ them every year.
Right.
To observe them in order for us to have our optimal health workforce. So we came to meet a recruitment of not less than 11 to 12,000. Just to be the challenge.
Tell me about
the challenge is that if you look at the requests from the various countries and even our own countries, the request is high when it comes to specialists.
They want more specialists.
They want more
than just general
ordinary nurses, general nurses. And so we contact hours a day, we're going to look at 4 or 5.
Right.
So that we'll use that approach to solve a problem of the approaches.
So basically, even the 13 countries, they are looking at specialists more than general
Yes, if you look at the demand, the specialists are more. You understand? So it is also part of the negotiations that, look, if I'm giving you 2 specialists, I'll add 1 or 2 general nurses into it. You understand? So it's part of the arrangement we are.
But isn't there an advantage where then you become a primary source of
and that's exactly what we are
health professionals for the world?
That's exactly what we are
if you cannot employ those you train.
That's exactly what we are looking at. But you see, it should also not play to our disadvantage. Right. Maybe it will be part of the, you are paying tax to your destination, where you are going to work. We feel that you must give half of your tax to Ghana because we train you.
Because it's very important.
Yes.
I mean, more especially when they even benefited from allowances that the government provided.
So it's part of
another country is getting their services for free, and state Ghana is not getting anything.
It's part of the negotiation, in even training them in the country instead of sending them outside the country. Can we get some other, experts in the country to come and help us? We're looking at all those. It's something that I have dedicated a lot of time to, and been able to. We opened the portal and we recruited. We are yet to post all of them.
Right. So this 70,000, for example, the reason is basically that government may not have.
Life must continue. We cannot also say we are stopping the training of health professionals. No,
right.
Must continue. So once we are going to continue to train them, we must think out of the box, and that's exactly what we are doing.
The flip side is that the nurse to patient ratio in Ghana is very huge. And you've got communities without a health professional to attend to hundreds of them. Boku, for example, it's a classic example. And yet we've got people sitting at home. Isn't there a strategy where the hospitals become self-sufficient such that, we can get nurses to work? Like it pertains in other
hospitals becoming self-sufficient
in terms of having the financial
paying themselves.
Look at the US and UK, for example. I don't know whether it is a health insurance that existed that makes it so easy for recruitment to happen.
To be very honest with you, I never imagined this conversation would drag this way, but I think it's healthy for all of us. No problem. I'm prepared for that. Government has not started contemplating on allowing health facilities to pay themselves. That is not in contemplation. Okay? But we are looking at other things. We are looking at the challenges in the sector, how we can solve them. Let me go back. The main issue, and being very, very honest and plain with you, for not being able to employ everybody. Government would have wished to employ everybody in every sector. That is important. But at the end of the day, you must have that budget to be able to pay the people you are employing.
Right.
You understand? And if you consider the economy, that is how far we can go. So gradually, as and when there is space, a physical space, you can continue to recruit more. There are a lot of challenges in the sector. One, even, hospitals or facilities are not simple, the brick and mortar.
No.
The personnel, the equipment.
Very important.
And the edifice. You understand? As I speak to you now, the last time we did major retooling of our health facilities was in 2014.
2014.
If you remember, that's when we had this terminologies like MRI, X-rays, remember? CT scans.
Right.
2014. And I can tell you that about 70 to 80% of these equipment are obsolete. You can't even get more than 10 to 20% of them already in the system.
Well, it's in over 10 years.
Exactly. And even before these 10 years, some of them, there were others that when they were bought, they couldn't even serve the facilities for more than 2 years. You understand? So we are looking at how we can get the system run with the required equipment. Two approaches. One, we are looking at going back to PPP. How the private sector can also come and partner the health facilities. You set up the imaging facility or the labs at the hospital, and then you partner government. You have some kind of profit sharing arrangement with the health facilities.
Right.
You understand? So you come in from that angle. We are also looking at how government can look for some money and buy some strategic equipment, because some of the equipment are not, lucrative. The profit margin is not that huge, so it will not attract the private sector to come in. So we are looking at that. But the biggest question is that, for how long can we continue to go take money? The hospitals will run those equipment, they become obsolete or faulty, and Ghana government will have to look for another money to come and fix them or replace them.
Right.
So again, we are looking at how we can also run this retooling sustainably. So there are other options I don't want to even suggest on this platform. We are looking at, can we even establish a fund to look at that? It's not been firmed up yet. Okay. So these are some of the things. When you come to a sector and you meet challenges, you think
outside the box
and then
fix them.
And then look at how you can fix them. And so it's not been easy. The system is a critical one, and there are a lot of challenges in the sector. But I can assure you that we are fixing them.
Let me quickly conclude on this recruitment. So this 70,000, is there any timelines you're giving yourself?
Yes. But I don't want to say it on this platform.
And so somebody is asking that, somebody is saying she's in a nursing school, hoping to graduate next year. That means it will take her years for her to be recruited because of the backlog.
I don't want to scare anybody. As I speak to you now, if you are a nurse, the 2021 batch are at home, 2022 at home, 2023 are at home. I think the 2024 are the ones who are doing their rotational. So it tells you we cannot jump to go and recruit 2023 or 2024 whilst the 2021 people are associating home. You understand? But we are putting more efforts to be able to increase the intake as well as exporting some of them. It's a huge challenge.
But for such people who obviously may not be happy with what you probably are hearing this, what is the assurance to them?
No, so that's why leaders are elected, leaders are appointed to find solutions to this. So they must not lose hope. We must, and wisdom is not in one person's head. I keep getting suggestions and trying to reflect on them, how we can go forward on all that. I believe there are some countries out there, for all you know, this, negative news or development may even tend to be positive.
Of course.
Depending on how we handle it. So they should never lose hope at all. They should never lose hope.
All right. There's this text message coming from two doctors at the Konfanoti Teaching Hospital. They are asking, they say that there's always pressure on Konfanoti because of the fact that it's a referral center.
They have ambushed me.
No, because we have to deal with, because we have you here, we have to deal with all the matters.
But that's also the understanding.
Of course. How many
next time, when I'm insisting on synopsis, you understand me.
So they say that plans to upgrade, for example, the military hospital, Afari, and then other satellite hospitals within the city. Some of them, according to the NPP, got to a certain level of completion. But even as we speak now, the hospitals are not in operation. And they want to find out what your plans are for the Asante region, for example, so that pressure on Konfanoti will be lessened.
So I agree with them. We have to rethink them.
Like?
To go around and inspect them. None is in operation. Not a single one. They commissioned, and I saw them. They put a plug there, they commissioned, and none is in operation. So what we are saying is that those ones, for example, we have to expedite action on them, complete them. Mr. President has asked us to commission, those projects used to be under the presidency.
Right.
Now it's been brought back to
the health ministry.
So we've commissioned some kind of audit into it. We are reviewing the whole thing, and then based on the report we get, we will then outline what we want to do going forward.
So it is possible some that are yet to take off may not see the light of day.
We will, to be fair with you, and Mr. President has put this one out there, Ghana government will put money in some, others will be packaged for PPP.
Okay.
And so that is when he even called on some of the missions, the churches, to come in and then take them.
And then take over. But how is the Mahama Care doing?
It's doing very well. Mahama Cares, cabinet approval has been done. We've gone to the country. But it depends on how you handle the outbreak as and when they come. And so we've recorded cases of mpox. We've done more than 2,000 contact tracing.
2,000?
Yes, suspected cases. And about 409 confirmed cases. And then we have about 102 people in isolation. And unfortunately, we have one death.
Okay.
One death. And so we have the National Rapid Response Team, the Regional Rapid Response Team, the District Response Team, and it's been hit by 15 out of the 16 regions. It's only Savannah that has not been affected.
Yes.
And we are also working on getting vaccines as part of our response. So very, very soon, we'll be taking delivery of vaccines from the US and other part of the world to be integrated as part of our response.
Okay.
Mpox.
But you've got a huge responsibility. The president has given you your marching orders already.
Yes.
And from now till 2028, you lead that particular sector to deliver.
I'm telling you. So every time I get up, I take the manifesto and then I watch.
I know you. I mean, from Parliament, I know how diligent you are, how hardworking you are, and as member of the Health Committee, and now sitting in the seat, driving the president's agenda in the health sector. What kind of a health sector?
Medicines. We've had 2 manufacturers who are leading, the Atlantic Life Sciences and then DEK. So that's also being accelerated. And then we also want to see health facilities that are...
Because now the responsibility on him is huge. I mean, back then, you will go to the constituency every weekend.
Exactly. So now they cannot get me frequently as they used to get me. And I believe that my people understand me. In fact, they are proud of me. And so now they know I am not Kwabena Minta for Jaboso constituency alone, but I'm Kwabena Minta for the health sector of the whole Ghana. And so my people understand me. And when you give birth to a son or a daughter and you decide to give that person to the public, you should understand that, look, the person has huge responsibilities, but as much as possible, anytime I get any space or time, I rush back to the constituency. But after all, they brought me to...
Of course. And how is your deputy doing?
Is he very...
In the midst of all this, this confusion over his professorship?
I think that one is a welcoming address. It's a baptism of fire.
Of course, into the sea.
So I think she's a very hard... the health sector of this country, and we'll do just that. Thank you.
Kwabena Kando is the health minister, and of course, he's got a huge responsibility on his son, and he says he's more than capable of delivering on the promise made by the NDC in the 2024 elections. We'll keep track on the very important things happening at that particular ministry, but we'll take a short break here on the pause. When we return, we'll talk about other matters relating to the NPP and the NDC ahead of the Akwatia parliamentary by-election. Stay put. You're welcome back to the pause here on JoyNews, of course, with me, Elton Brobe. And of course, we've got your comments, a lot of interest in our conversation with the health minister. And I guess some of the questions and the concerns you had were answered by the minister. But let's now move away from health and talk about politics. Because of the opposition New Patriotic Party, they have vowed to offer protection to its members during the Akwatia parliamentary by-election, despite the assurance by the Ghana Police Service that it will deploy thousands of officers to the area to ensure ultimate security. The Electoral Commission has, however, announced that it will begin printing ballot papers for the Akwatia by-election tomorrow, August 20, 2025. The following report has more.
The Ghana Police Service, political parties, And also the Electoral Commission have just concluded a meeting on the modalities and security arrangements for the upcoming Akwatia by-elections. Well, the Electoral Commission has made it public that they will begin the printing of ballot papers for that particular by-elections on Wednesday, the 20th of August 2025. Several concerns were raised by the various political parties, especially the main opposition political party, the NPP, whose representative here, the party's national organizer, Nana Boakye, said that the police has yet to give them the assurance that they will deal with the people who perpetrated violence at the Ablekuma North elections.
Recently, there were some few guys who made some comments on social media. The police, in their view, thought that it was a threat to our peace. They effected arrest. And as I speak, yesterday, they were released. So we also pointed this out to Ghana police, that if you can make such quick arrest, how is it difficult for you to arrest people who've caused these problems over a month ago? But again, they assured us that they are going to have some arrest, and they are going to make sure that they instill the confidence that is needed for us to go into the Akwatia by-elections. So that is what they have said. But we have also mentioned it to them that as we speak, we lack that requisite confidence in the Ghana police, especially because of what happened in Ablekuma North, where the people are, the images are all over, the people are seeing. For me, my deputy, he had almost about 20 guys on him. The videos is all over, their images all over. So we also pointed this out to the Ghana police.
Meanwhile, the NDC's Rashid Tanko Computer says his party was happy with the modalities that were laid out by the Ghana Police Service.
Deployment plan indicating they are bringing all their regional commanders and then their POMAC members to beef up security, and that they are not going to leave any stone unturned to make sure that there's enough security at the police. And so they are not expecting anybody to come with any macho men or personal security and all that. The EC also briefed us what they intend to do in terms of accreditation. They will make sure that all our leadership who are going to do the monitoring observation will be given accreditation. And we are very clear in our mind that the NDC, we are committed to the peace plan, the process they've put in place. But we are mindful of the activity of our opponent who will come in there with dangerous weapons. You remember what happened at Ablekuma North? That triggered all this problem.
A new political party is on the block, APP, and they say they are in to win it.
Money. We are there to win this election. You see, what you people are always saying, NDC and NPP. This time it's not about NDC and NPP. Ghanaians already know who they are. And you know Akwatia, there was a lot of problems in Akwatia by elections. Even in election after the 2024 election, we saw what happens.
The Akwatia by-election is happening on the 2nd of September 2025, which is just 2 weeks away from now. And of course, the stakes has never been this high. Both the NDC and the NPP in particular will be hoping to win this to augment their numbers in Parliament. From the police headquarters, my name is Kenneth Jesse for JoyNews.
Right, so the police met the various parties and they came to some conclusions. Now, let's explore what is ahead of us on September 2nd. And joining me is the NDC's Deputy Director of Elections, Rashid Tanko Computer, and we'll also be bringing an NPP person on the show. Haruna Mohammed is also a Deputy General Secretary of the NPP, is also joining us. Let me start with you, Rashid. So, Computer, I was thinking the NDC will return the favor when the NPP pulled out of the Tamale Central. But quite clearly, you are going all out for Akwatia.
Let me say good afternoon to your cherished viewers. And let me make it very clear. There is no favor to be delivered to anybody here. In any case, that seat was hotly contested in court. We were still pursuing the matter in court. Unfortunately, the MP lost his life, and that made the case moot. So we are pursuing a proper process, that is to reclaim a seat that we won but was robbed by the EC for the NPP And I made it very clear today. I told them, I even mentioned to the police, the polling stations where they rigged the elections, and of which this time they won't have the luxury to do that, because we are going all out with our eagle eyes to make sure that we protect every ballot. And at the end of it, Lawyer Badiako will be declared winner. And also there's no favor to grant to anybody. You can't rig an election and expect a favor from us. We won't give them any favor. We are going to win the seat back to NDC.
But clearly, I mean, things that happen in the room are quite different from the one that exhibits itself on the ground. I mean, you always meet with the police, Cordeo, and other related bodies to elections, and both parties will always commit to peace, transparency, and to ensure respect the sanctity of the election. Yet on the ground, it's a totally different matter altogether. I mean, to what extent should we have any confidence that what you agree with the police will be exactly what you will implement on the election day?
Elton, let me tell you, for us as a political party, the NDC, we are always standing by our words. When we say something, we stand by it, because we make sure we train our people. We educate our leadership about the processes, so they won't go around and be messing themselves up at polling stations. Unlike our opponent, the NPP, they won't take time to train their leadership. At the meeting, I told them, the problem is that they don't train their people to understand the electoral system. Otherwise, why will you go to polling station and be asking that why is it that NPP is having only one party agent? When you know we are only conducting parliamentary election. We don't have two party agents there. It's only one party agent. So if a senior officer of an NPP will go about asking such questions, what will be telling the general public? It means the person is ignorant of our electoral system. So the person is out to foment trouble. And when they push the person, then you come out with a pepper spray to spray at people's faces. That's the problem we have with them.
Let me bring in the Deputy General Secretary of the NPP, Haruna Mohammed. Haruna, so you are going with this election with what kind of mentality after the ugly scenes we witnessed during the Ablekuma parliamentary rerun in the 19 polling centers?
I must say good afternoon to your charity US and my brother Rashid Tanko Computer. You see, we have made our position very clear to the good people of Ghana, the national organizer, and the other two representatives of the party at the police headquarters made our position very clear. I must commend the police administration, the IGP, for occasioning this particular meeting, providing the platform for all of us as political parties and stakeholders in these very elections to jaw and to listen to them with respect to the modalities that they are putting in place. However, whatever thing that you do, you must go in with clean hands.
Right.
And the Ghana Police Service is called upon to clean their hands of the death that was perpetrated in Ablekuma North constituency. We recognize the fact that the police service is promising to send about 5,000 men to Akwatia. If you send 5,000 men to Akwatia and you don't enforce the law as it's supposed to be, then it's better to have sent only one police officer to Akwatia. Again, you see, it's not all about numbers. If you send those numbers there and still allow the hooligans and the hoodlums in the NDC to perpetuate such acts that they did in Ablekuma North, then it is useless to have sent even 200 to Akwatia. So for us, we welcome their decision. Our posture in this election is binded on the law, and the rule of law is our focus point. Every citizen of Ghana is demanded of a protection, and you have the right to protect yourself if you feel that your protection is not guaranteed. And this is what is situated in the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
And so what exactly would the party be doing?
We as a political party, we don't believe the NDC, and we cannot also trust the police. And I'm very happy that Mr. Rashid has indicated that whatever they say, they do. Because the sitting president told us that when it comes to violence, they are the kingpins of violence. They are the paramount chiefs of violence. And that nobody has ever beaten them to violence. They unleash violence on people. These are the words that the sitting president said. And that is what they perpetrated in Ablikmanov. So they unleashed violence, they beat up women, they beat up youth, they did all manner of things, and Mr. Yohonu, up to today, cannot find and arrest these perpetrators.
In fact, they have arrested some individuals, but yet to be put before court.
Tell me which act. If you have an IGP, then you have an attorney general who prosecutes his cases in the media. And then they go around with the security apparatus, arresting people and putting them in Iyoko. Have you heard that any of them have been arraigned before court? My brother is talking about the tenets of election and how to learn. What we forget in election is what they have mastered in elections. Because when it comes to electoral procedures, we have contributed 90% to electoral procedures in Ghana in terms of law. So they don't know electoral matters than us. So when we are discussing such matters with seriousness, I think that we need to focus our mind and making sure that the people we are communicating to in the house are very focused and very mindful of what we are saying.
So Haruna,
but we as a political party, we believe that Akwatia is a done deal for us.
Okay.
He also says that, let me state this point. He says that they were in court on Akwatia, and because of the passing of the individual, that is why they are coming to contest. You see, they lack principle. The NDC lack principle. The principle of the NPP was that we won Ablekuma constituency on the 7th of December. And as a result of that, we will not contest elections that we have won. So if they believe they had won and they are in court, why are they coming there? In any case, we don't need any favor from them. If they are expecting that what we did on humanitarian grounds, what we did on national accord was to afford them opportunity to do same to us, no, we never expected that from them.
So I just want to find out. I mean, clearly, everybody is looking forward to a parliamentary by-election devoid of the scenes of Ablikmanov. And I mean, listening to you quite clearly, you appear not to place so much premium on the promises made by the police, and for that reason, you'll be. I
don't trust the police, and I can tell you, it is not me. I'm speaking on the position of the party. We don't trust the police. The police should make us trust them in this election. We don't trust them. So once I don't trust them, or the party doesn't trust them, they should prove to us that they are actually independent and professional and not manipulated by the NDC. But you cannot allow NDC tax in front of you to misbehave when the police is trained as to how to deal with that recalcitrant. But they were misbehaving in front of the police. Look at how Yakubu was beaten, Honorable Hawa was beaten, how Akumsin was beaten. Look at how, in front of police, unconcerned. Look at how Prince was beaten in front of the police, unconcerned. Do you expect me, Haruna, to be beaten in Akwatia in the manner they did? I tell you that if they venture with that particular act in Akwatia, you will see what is going to happen. We're not going to allow it. So the Ghana police should allow us to trust them.
But Haruna, isn't it the case that if you political actors respect the rules of engagement announced by the police,
tell me what was the act
we'll have an incident-free election?
Tell me what act did Chris broke. Tell me, the deputy national organizer, tell me what he broke. What did he? He did not do anything. He did not. So we will go to Akwatia with peace. But we would never slam ourselves with so much cowardness in Akwatia. We would not. For that one, we assure the police. We would not go there with cowardness. We will go there being very mindful of the fact that the 1992 Constitution provides us with protection if you are not satisfied with the state protection.
And that clearly, and that clearly is raising the temperature ahead.
We don't care because we are eating with the devil and we must eat with a long spoon.
Rashid, Tango.
First, let me correct this. Since we came to power January 7, up to now, we've not recruited even a single policeman. The NDC has not recruited even a single policeman. So that you will think that because we recruited the police, that's why you don't trust them. So you can see that the NPP, it means all the police you recruited, trained over 8 years, you don't even respect them again. You don't trust them again. You don't even trust your own police that you recruited, trained. The last time I remember was that it's only the Ablekwanov that we had the 19 polling station election. The police has not changed. Nothing has changed. It's the same police that conducted the 2020 election, 2024 election, and then we came to where we are. So for MPP to say they don't trust the police, the Ashanti will say,
But Rashid, isn't it also surprising that up to now nobody is before court for the violence that characterized the Ablekmanov rerun?
The police indicated to us that they made some arrests, and we're even expecting that they should have gone further to arrest more because the one who triggered the problem, she was holding dangerous weapon. The pepper spray, you know, it's classified as one of the dangerous weapons. It's not allowed. During election, somebody was holding it. That was an illegality. And so therefore, the person should also be arrested. That is one thing they should have known. And I'm saying that so when they are talking about arrest, they forget that Howard Kumsin was spraying people with pepper spray. And she came there at the polling station unaccredited. She didn't have any accreditation. On what basis was she doing that? Was she not the one asking questions that, why is it that NPP is having only one party agent here? And throwing her weight around. She didn't understand the electoral process that was being run at that place. That led to all this unfortunate situation at that one polling station. And we are saying that we will not accept this. This time, we told them, all their women, their handbag, when they come to Akwatia, they should search their handbag. They have pepper spray in their bags. The NPP women.
But
we respect women. But Howard Kumsa has shown us that some women cannot be trusted. Because she came there with premeditated mind and has pepper spray in her back. How can a woman think this way?
But the same can be said for those who attacked her, that they also came with a predetermined mind.
That's what they say. We are condemning both. We are condemning both sides. And we are saying that don't glorify one and leave the other.
So what's the commitment? What is the commitment going forward?
Beat her up.
Well, what is the commitment from you, from the NDC going forward?
Oh, the NDC, we are committed. Elton, I can assure you and the general public, the good people of Ghana, that the NDC, we have words from our General Secretary and our National Chairman. We are committed to peace. And we are going by what the police have laid out. So you see, measure us with NPP. We all sat around the table. The police gave a very beautiful program plan, how they are going to handle the elections and all that. And yet you have problems with it. If you have problems with it, are you expecting us to go and bring Afghanistan police to come and do the election? Or Somalia? What kind of thing is that? That's what we are telling them. These are the things they do, and we say that it appears they are not interested in the election. They know they are going to lose the election. Right. They've lost this before the ballot is cast.
We
are going to defeat them.
Rashid Tango, thank you so much. Let me give you the final words to Haruna.
Thank you very much. You've heard him. We've all heard the police. We've listened to them. We have not disagreed with what they said. We are law-abiding. Per the values of the New Patriotic Party, we respect the rule of law. And we are saying that we don't trust them. You see that whatever the police is saying, they are saying that, everything they have agreed. They've gone to draw the plan with the NDC. They've come. Yes, we have heard them. The procedure is good, it's fine, but the implementation is what we are all watching.
Okay.
But if implementation is not done right, we will not be cowards. And again, he was saying that the elections in Akwatia was being challenged. It is not true. Elections in parliamentary is challenged through election pit. There is no any election petition for Akwatia. So they should just bow their heads and tell their supporters that they were on the wrong part of the law and the Supreme Court dismissed. So going into Akwatia, for us, we need peace. We need harmonious relationship in Akwatia.
Right.
But if anybody touches what will happen in Akwatia, the NPP will definitely defend themselves. And I also want to assure the general public and the NDC that nobody is going to go to Akwatia with anything. We'll go with our bare hands. But if they choke or they mistakenly try to do something, we'll use our bare hands and chase them away. I am saying it. And if anybody thinks that he's so powerful, he should try it in Akwatia. We'll use our bare hands and chase them away.
We'll leave it here
That's
for now.
what we're going to do.
Haruna Mohammed is a Deputy General Secretary of the NPP. And we also heard Rashid Tanko, the Deputy Director of Elections with the governing NDC. And the parliamentary by-election set for September 2nd, 2025. The Electoral Commission said that we'll undertake printing of the ballot tomorrow. And the police have committed them to a peace pact. Amongst them, nobody without accreditation will be allowed anywhere near any polling center in the elections. Now, away from that, the Parliamentary Sanitation Committee is urging an increase in the sanitation levy charged on fuel. At the moment, the government collects 20 pesos per litre at the pump, a fee now merged into the revised energy sector recovery levy, which imposes 1 Ghana cedis per litre. Speaking to journalists, Committee Chair John Bless argued that the sanitation levy should be separated from the ESLA and raised from 20 pesos to 50 pesos.
Now that the 1 Ghana cedi levy is in force, government through the finance minister, in the next budget, that is 2026 budget, we should consider returning or even increasing. My brothers, I'm a young person. I'm from a very humble background. The unemployment issues in this country can be resolved if we tackle it, if we are strategic. A few days ago, I had a meeting with Basentale, the YEA coordinator. He's doing extremely well. He's a young person doing very well, trying to absorb most of our young people. A lot of young people are coming out of SHS and the secondary schools and the polytechnics. When this levy, I want to propose that this levy should be brought back to focus on sanitation issues and unemployment issues. Ghanaians have no problem paying taxes. There's no Ghanaian in this country has a problem paying taxes. It is about the management. If the tax will be utilized or used for its intended purpose, Ghanaians have no problem. Look at when the 1 Ghana cedi levy issue was raised in Parliament. The opposition, our brothers in the opposition, NPP, they kicked against it. But overwhelming majority supported it. You are a media guy, you all know. Ghanaians supported it. But today, the government, because the government is committed to resetting this country, government is utilizing the money. That is why we now have 24/7 power on a daily basis. The power outages problem has almost been resolved. You understand? And we'll surely get there. So it tells you that Ghanaians have no problem paying taxes. It is because over the years, successive government have failed to utilize the taxes Ghanaians pay in resolving problems that were near to benefit of Ghanaians. So I want to recommend or propose that we increase, at least it was 0.20 pesos. We can make it 0.50 pesos. And distribute this money, give a percentage to National Youth Employment Agency to support them, recruit more people, give another percentage to National Youth Authority, because the government has brought a policy. We've introduced National Apprenticeship Program. This National Apprenticeship Program is an important policy, and it is helping a lot. It is going to more or less absorb most of our young illiterates, especially the female ones who are into dressmaking, hairdressing, and what have you. Most of them will also benefit, and it will help them.
Well, you may recall that a few weeks ago, the government decided not to renew its contract with Zoom Lion Ghana, a company responsible for managing street sweepers nationwide. So how are the MMDAs addressing their sanitation challenges in the absence of this contract? The chairman offers some clarity on this.
Because there's no payment, because Zoom Lion is not the only service provider in the country as far as sanitation is concerned. When we went around with Kumasi, Metropolis, they said they have about 6 or so service providers. Greater Accra, they have several others. It's just that most of them have no capacity. They are just doing it on a smaller scale. Because Zoom Lion is the main person. So like I keep saying, as a Ghanaian, because our commitment should be geared towards promoting Ghanaian-owned, indigenous-owned business people. You understand? Let's empower our people. If there are problems, let's deal with it. I remember the last time I spoke with Manasseh, that was when we started our round. I agree with him. He's a citizen. He has a problem, there were issues. He even hammered more on this YEA beneficiaries thing. It should be taken. And we agreed. But me, my point has always been that as a Ghanaian, I will never endorse or support the collapse of any Ghanaian business. No. No matter where the person comes from, I will never support the collapse of any Ghanaian business. As we speak today, things are getting out of hand. Because we recommended that the Zoom Lion contract is always signed in Accra. They engage him in Accra without the input of the implementers. The assemblies are the implementers. The problem, that's where the problems are. So how do you take medicine for a sick person? So allow them to make inputs or give the right to them to competitively open tender for all those who have the muscle, the capacity to go there and tender and bid. And that is what the president has done.
All right, so that's our show for today. For more stories, log on to our website, myjoyonline.com. Whatever you are up to in the hours ahead, I hope it's profitable. My name is Elton Robin. We shall be here tomorrow same time to bring another exciting edition of The Pulse. Stay tuned.